It is finally Big Ten play. Let's see, Rutgers. Yeah, technically. Okay, it's finally Big Ten play for Ohio State as they travel to Piscataway, New Jersey to take on the Scarlet Knights. We bring in Claire Crawford to talk Ohio State football. You can join Claire on theozone.net and her podcast with Joe Dexter. Oh, hail no. Claire, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing so well.
That's all that needs to be said. That was the very confidently stated, short and sweet. I'm doing so well.
I really am.
Well, hopefully Ohio State's doing well, considering that they look much better the last 2 weeks, especially the effort on offense, throwing the football downfield against UNLV. We have to say what we've been saying the last few weeks. Okay, we don't know because of the competition, but there's still ways to get that indication that things are headed in the right direction. We received that from Urban Meyer as well. I know he has said we are working our tails off to get this right in the passing game, and especially in the red zone. He talked about red zone passing and the difficulty of red zone passing because the spacing is difficult. Except for athletes out jumping guys, you can't use as much speed. It's about spacing. It's about ball placement and timing and execution. So whether it was JT Barrett on the field or Dwayne Haskins, your thoughts about the passing offense and the quarterback play?
It's difficult because after Oklahoma, then preparing for Army was a completely different kind of wonky type defense that they're not going to be seeing. So it's almost like having to just wipe the slate clean of what they learned, what they had prepared for everyone else, the go to play Army, and then on to UNLV back. I would say it was almost like a week setback as far as getting the offense on track. But what we saw is more confidence from both quarterbacks in the UNLV matchup. It really was watching JT not only just be more confident with his receivers, but be more confident that his receivers would make a play even if they were covered. So we saw a little bit of that. We saw a little bit of a little opening up of the playbook. And then as far as Dwayne Haskins, we saw, and I saw in person this week, watched him be extremely confident, not just with backups, but with starters against UNLV starters. And I think most of all, watch him throw a pick six, which is never fun. You don't ever want to see that. But watch him mentally. First of all, I thought it was completely gutsy for him to audible a call on the line regardless, as someone going in there as a backup, for him to recognize something that he thought he saw in the defense, make a change in the play call, and then go out and execute, and then end up throwing the pick six, and then coming back, dusting himself off, mentally going on and completing more passes and still making his progressions and still making and we talked about him being a gunslinger and he gets the ball off quickly, so it may seem like risky choices, but he's definitely somebody who is more confident as far as getting to his receivers.
JT Barrett made a throw to the left corner of the end zone that I was impressed with because they had failed on a couple run plays. And it was okay. It's 3rd and goal. Yes, this score doesn't matter. It's UNLV. The game's put away. But this situation, you're going to have to convert passes in the red zone where the accommodations are tight, and you failed running the ball. You can't get it in, and you're going to have to make a throw. And this is the difference between 7 points and 3 points. So against Michigan, against Penn State, etc., this is where you need to make a play. And JT Barrett threw a ball from the middle of the field to the left corner, in which the cornerback had the angle. If you think about the trajectory of the ball, if a defender is going to have the angle, you have to throw the ball perfectly. And he did, and he made the play, and it was a nice throw. I love to see the ball rotation come out of both of these quarterbacks' hands, and JT Barrett in the last couple of weeks, where not a lot of wobble on the throws. He seems to be firing the ball with a little bit more confidence. And maybe that's just the coaches instilling that, hey, you got to cut loose. You can't aim it. You can't You have to trust these guys. You have to just cut loose and let it go. Once you make that decision, let that throw go and live with it.
And we're seeing that decision come faster. We're seeing both. I saw JT and Dwayne Haskins both start to climb the pocket when they saw something breaking down or when they saw somebody wasn't open. We saw actual improvement in quarterback play. And I know it's incremental, and as a Buckeye fan, it may seem like it still may be frustrating. But speaking of rotation, we saw 7 different receivers end up scoring, which is, like you said, down the road going to be more important. It may not seem like a big deal right now, but 7 different receivers is going to make a huge difference. Rotation, not just in the gauntlet that is Big Ten play as far as keeping everybody fresh and healthy, but other teams having to game plan for 7 different receivers is going to be a little more difficult.